Welcome back! You join me on a particularly rainy day here in Doncaster, quite a contrast to where I was last filming. It's quite strange actually, when you haven't vlogged for a couple of weeks it is strange to start talking to camera again, but here we go. So over the last few weeks I've been getting used to being back here, back working again. It was obviously fantastic to take a break and head to Corfu for a week with the family, and honestly I really enjoyed it. I had no idea how much I needed that break until I actually went on it. But over the last couple of weeks I've just been getting things moving again, and that's been a little bit harder than I thought it would. First of all, as you might be able to hear, I've actually been hit with a bit of a cold, which is, you know, pretty much on its way out now. But over the last week or so I've definitely been complaining about that pretty much every day. So I have been reluctant to start moving at full speed as a result of that, but I do feel like I'm getting there now. So this is the first real opportunity I've had to pick up the camera and hit the record button. So there have been a couple of changes over the last week or so, the first of which is that I now have a slightly different car. And I will reveal that to you at some point in this video, but I won't reveal it to you straight away because it is raining really heavily outside and I'm, waiting for the right moment to show you it. But I'm quite excited to share that with you, and I'll be honest, that is one of the things that I've been adjusting to over the last couple of weeks. And also I feel like I've got a fresh perspective on the things that I'm doing. Coming back has been really hard, but also really, really good because I've got everything lined up in front of me now. I know exactly what I need to do, I just need to do it. So if I get my act together, hopefully I can get things moving this week. Oh, and the other thing is I've kind of grown a beard. Don't know how long it'll last. I mean, obviously it'll last as long as I don't shave it, but you know what I mean. Tend to change my mind a lot with facial hair, so yeah, beard. That's a thing. My evenings at the moment have been devoted to writing. I've been trying to save a little bit of time and energy at the end of the day to sit down and work on those ideas that I started developing when I was away. It's about 10 o'clock at night now, so I can't be too loud, but I've been sitting with my headphones on, just jamming through the ideas, looking at the lyrics that I've written, and obviously now I've got a guitar, which I didn't have when I was away, so it's been great to sit with the instrument and just work through those ideas and develop them a little bit further. And I'll be honest with you, I'm really tired right now. But I'm really glad that I devoted this time at the end of the day to do this. I've been looking forward to it all day. And also it means that if I have any ideas during the day I can write it down and see if it works later on. It's great. It's really working for me at the moment anyway. But I can promise you that very soon I will be going to bed. So the weather's a little bit nicer today, so I think it's the perfect time to reveal to you my car. This is Rhaegar. Now Rhaegar is a Mercedes that is technically older than I am, and I bet you're wondering why on earth I've done this. And the short answer is I want to get something with a bit of character, a bit of personality, and I really think Rhaegar ticks that box. So far it's been a fantastic car. I'm definitely getting used to driving something a little bit older. Some of my favourite things about it are the sunroof, which has been amazing. Not necessarily when it's been raining, so I've obviously had it closed then, but on days like this having a sunroof is incredible because obviously it doesn't have any kind of air conditioning. The steering wheel is massive, which is great. It also had a cassette player in it before, which I've just changed for a Bluetooth unit so I can listen to music. But my favourite feature about this car by a long way is the analog clock. Look at that! How sweet is that? There's something incredibly refreshing about driving a car of this age. It's very simple on the inside. There's maybe two buttons on the dashboard. One of them turns on the heated rear windscreen and one of them turns on the light in the back of the car. And I don't really know why it's those two things, but those are the only two buttons on the dashboard, of course, apart from like the lights and things like that. But yeah, it's very simple, it's very straightforward, and I really like it. It's got a lot of character. And I obviously decided to call it Rhaegar because I took a quiz recently on BuzzFeed, and it turns out that the house from Game of Thrones that I am is Targaryen. Really wanted Stark, gonna put that out there, but apparently I'm a Targaryen. So I thought, why not go for Rhaegar, because he was my favourite Targaryen anyway. And not only that, but I think it suits this car. Owen has even suggested that I call it Rhaegar Cargaryen. So yeah. Brilliant. Obviously I wanted to get these as well, the dice from the Millennium Falcon, because it wouldn't be right if we weren't mixing and matching references all over the place. And I'll be honest, there have been a couple of Millennium Falcon moments where I've thought, is it going to start? But just like the Millennium Falcon, I have a tremendous amount of affection for this car already. It might be a little bit older and rough around the edges, but it gets the job done. Also, it's really comfortable. These are like armchair seats. That's definitely a big part of it for me. So you can look forward to all kinds of adventures in this. Hopefully me and Rhaegar are going to go on plenty of journeys together. So once again I'm here in the studio and I'm writing my songs. I've honestly forgotten how much I enjoy doing this. I know that sounds ridiculous because, you know, I think of myself as a songwriter, but genuinely, when I was away in Corfu, when I had the opportunity to write lyrics pretty much every day, I'd just forgotten how much I love this. It's so great to be working on those ideas and developing them, so it's not really a huge surprise that every time I finish work for the day, I sit in here and I start writing. Any moment that I have just to sit, even if it's 10 minutes, just to work on these songs, I just really appreciate it. So stay tuned, there is something coming very soon, particularly if I go at the rate that I'm going now. So today has been a really busy one. I've actually been out with David, Lee and Stephen making the first episode of season 2 of That David podcast. And of course, if you want to see what I actually got up to on this day, you're going to have to watch the vlog that David's made over on that channel. So I have actually had this camera with me all day, but it's had a totally different SD card in it, and obviously it's all to do with the podcast, so make sure you tune into that to see what I have been doing today, because it has been an exceptionally busy day. So tonight my main focus is making myself something for dinner, which tonight is a prawn stir fry. I'm going to do some noodles with it as well, because one of my friends has given me some noodles to actually use. I've got some nice thick udon noodles, but it is like basically made from kit pieces, so I've got like chopped onion in a bag, so I'm feeling exceptionally lazy, but hopefully it'll taste fantastic. And you know how I feel about cooking. It's a great thing to do to unwind, so I'm really looking forward to this. It has been a very long and busy day, so let's get cooking. To me, this week has been about getting back to basics. So much of my life is really complicated, or it certainly has been, and a lot of the work that I do is really complicated. But when it's come to my writing, it's been very much about sitting down with an acoustic guitar and a notepad and actually just writing something. And honestly, I can't remember the last time that I did that. And there's a similar parallel with the car that I've just bought. This is obviously going to seem very tenuous, so stay with me. But that car literally just has like an engine and a CD player in it, and it's very basic, and honestly it's been really refreshing to drive something that just has an element of simplicity to it. And honestly, I can't remember the last time I really felt that about many aspects of my life. And of course there are plenty of things in my life that are really simple that I love, including making a cup of tea, but even that's more complicated because we've got one of those Brita kettles now, so obviously you have to filter the water before it goes in, and obviously it's not hugely complicated, it's not rocket science, but obviously it's more complicated than just putting water in a kettle and sticking it on. But the last time I really felt like this about my writing and about the creative process was when I was about 16, 17. I'd come in from school, I'd finish all of my homework, and then I'd start writing and do that until I went to bed. And I wasn't really thinking about it. I wasn't thinking, is this a good idea, is this a bad idea? I was just doing it. The album Here of All Places that I made with the usual ones was my reconnection with writing. I hadn't really committed to anything in a long time, so I needed to get something out there. And I really enjoyed making that album for that reason. That record made me fall in love with writing again, and I caught the bug and I started doing it all the time again. A Song in 7 Days was my way of experimenting with that. And it kind of took me in lots of different directions that I hadn't been in before. But one of the things that I didn't like about A Song in 7 Days was that pressure. I always felt like I had to get things done. Obviously I had 7 days to finish a song. With this, I can take my time over it. And obviously I'm not necessarily taking that much longer than I was, but that extra bit of time to reflect and all the other things that are going on in my life at the moment mean that when I come to it, I feel refreshed. And I feel so much better about what I'm actually writing. So in a weird way, it does feel like I'm 16 years old again. I get my work done, I get in, and I write until I fall asleep. And the great thing is, I don't really mind what I come up with, just providing that I come up with something. And so far that seems to be working. So you know what? I think I'm going to embrace that simplicity in my life as much as I can. I've done it with the car, I've done it with my writing. I'm not going to throw away the Brita kettle because it does actually make tea taste nicer, but maybe I can find some other aspects of my life to make simpler. It certainly makes me feel good to do things this way. And that's where I'll leave you this week. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.